Here we go. We can actually see now how many divisions are here. We have 5 divisions in the front, 50,000, and 31 in reserve, 200,000. So it's about 250,000. $250,000. Hey, I am FeedBackGaming, and I now have 100,000 subscribers. Thank you. You are all my family. You are all my feedbackers. Welcome to my family. To celebrate, this is the 100,000 subscriber special. We're going to do the FeedBackGaming No Oil Challenge. This challenge isn't just about me and this video. This challenge is about you. You are going to go out and do this challenge. But not only that, you're going to go out to your favorite YouTubers as well. Let them know by commenting in their comment section, are you going to do the FeedBackGaming No Oil Challenge? The question is, what is the FeedBackGaming No Oil Challenge? Single player, new game, 1936, Germany, Ironman, historical focuses, elite difficulty. FeedBackGaming No Oil Challenge. It's trivia time. Who is the very best Paradox YouTuber? Who is the best Paradox YouTuber? If you know, wink, wink, comment below. First of all, you must go down Rhineland. You are not allowed to build synthetic refineries. Not allowed. You can build silos, but not synthetic oil refineries. That also applies to oil liquefaction and synthetic rubber. And also, it applies to synthetic oil technology as well. So all of these technologies are forbidden. And this one is the most important rule. You are not allowed to import oil whilst at war. That's right, you are not allowed to import any oil whilst at war. The question you're probably asking right now is, how is that even possible? How am I going to use an air force? How am I going to use tanks? How am I going to use a navy? Well, you're going to find out. A few other rules really quick. You're only allowed to justify and declare war by a focus tree. Anschluss can only be selected after the 1st of January, 1938. Danzig war can only be selected after the 1st of January, 1939. Sealion is not allowed. No sealion. The maximum combat width is 20. No larger division than 20 combat width. No paratroopers, no boosting or coups. You're not allowed to go for intricate war economies. And also, you're not allowed to declare war on Romania if you find a way possible. And trust me, there are ways of doing it. So that oil is not yours. Nope, don't touch. That's not yours. To win, you must capitulate France, Poland, and the Soviet Union. And your score is the date. So if you capitulate France, Poland, and the Soviet Union on the 1st of January, 1945, the 1st of January, 1945 is your score. Once you've completed this channel, zoom back, take a screenshot, pop it into my Discord, and prove to the world that you have completed this challenge and show off the date that you achieved it. Once again, I'll say it. This challenge isn't just for me and you, it's also for all the other YouTubers. I would like to get a score sheet of all the big YouTubers who play Paradox games and the dates that they completed this challenge. Do you have a favorite Paradox YouTuber? How about dropping a comment saying when you're doing the FeedBackGaming No Oil Challenge? When are you doing the FeedBackGaming No Oil Challenge? And they'll go, what? What's the FeedBackGaming No Oil Challenge? And you'll go, you don't know? I know, and then you're gonna tell them. Let us begin. First focus, we are gonna go for Rhineland. We're also going to focus on our industry and electronics, and we're also going to go for the SPG light tank. We're going to build some civilian factories here, here, and here. Guns, we don't need as many. We need more artillery. We don't need that many tanks. A little bit more motorized. We don't need tactical bombers. A few more close air support, and a few fighters. The rest can be added on to artillery. Regarding ships, no. We're going to make 100 convoys, and then when they're done, we'll make some submarines. Go. Let's prep our mini army that's going to go to the Spanish Civil War, and we'll also prep our air force that will go as well. We'll send just a bunch of fighters and close air support. And this is my favorite general, Albert Kessering. I hope he didn't do anything bad in the war. I am really sorry if he did. Right, we need to import a little bit of rubber, just a tiny amount from Brazil. This will keep our motorized production and our plane production rolling. Right, we've got our SPG, and we're going to do the upgrades of the existing models. It's important that we upgrade because we can convert them a lot quicker. Rhineland is now done. We're going to go for 4-year plan. Let's go for interwar artillery. First up, silent workhorse. More research bonuses. Now we're going to work to Autobahn and get the free civilian factories too. Captain of Industry, here we go. And we're going to go for Disperse Industry. Problem in Spain. Let's deal with this. 1,000 guns once. A small trickle of artillery. And we're also going to send some volunteers. Yes and yes. I'm going to send these 2 air wings, fighters, and close air support. There we go. More air crews. And we can put these to 100 each. Now we're going to use the Aces exploit. And we're going to split these divisions down to 1s. This increases the likelihood of generating Aces, which give war support and bonuses for your air crews. I'm going to go for the free civilian factories now. Here we go. Here come the Aces. And another one. And another one. Right, we're going to rush for improved artillery. Not interested in ending the Spanish Civil War quickly, because I'd much prefer it last longer, and that way we get more experience. So I'll just push on a big wide front and see where we can do from there. Do you enjoy challenge videos? Well, you might like this challenge video, or this one. Very fun. Next, Disperse Industry, and we'll go for Construction too. Gonna go for Army Innovation so we can start working on our doctrines. Don't forget, more civilian factories. More. We've got the airport in the center of Spain. Center of the air zone always has better air efficiency, so that's the one we're going to go for. The beauty of this strategy is we generate so many aces, we get over 50% war support. And then we can go for a very early war economy. Done. Also go with the treaty with the USSR so we can get medium tank. Right, one of the downsides of elite difficulty is you get less production efficiency cap. So to make up for that, I'd recommend going for machine tools, which I normally don't recommend, but this time I do. Right, we're going to train a bunch of divisions now, say another 22, and we'll prioritize the guns for them. We'll also pop on some SPGs onto the tanks, and another motorized as well. Next, we're going to go for the Blitzkrieg Theorist. Don't forget about MIFO bills. It's time to start working on the doctrines. We're going to work on the medium tank now, and we'll get the tank designer that goes with it, mobile tank designer. We're going to go for computer machine. Trouble in the East. We're going to send 1,000 guns to Japan. Build some more civilian factories in the Autobahn. Added in 1.7.1, aggressive assaulter adds extra 10% breakthrough for all divisions underneath it. So now I recommend Walter Modal. Gonna get the artillery designer. Keep an eye on your logistics. Look what you're behind on. In this case, we're behind on guns because we're training divisions. A little bit behind on support and a little bit on tanks as well. So just keep an eye on all of those. Logistics Company 1. Why, you ask? Fuel usage reduction. Artillery's done. We're going to work on the soft attack passive bonuses. It's ahead of time, but we're going to work on Disperse 3 now. This is perfect. Our general now is over halfway towards Panzer Leader. Spain, done. We're in 1938 now, so what I'm going to do, deploy all these divisions, and now I'm going to use the manpower in field glitch. Select the entirety of my army, select the big motorized division, and now we have 450,000 manpower in the field, so now we can go to Anschluss. Or when they reinforce anyway. Make the division a little bit bigger. Remember, not bigger than 20 combat width though. But we're going to have to train a few more divisions. We've got the medium tank now, so we'll start building a few of those. A few more divisions deployed. Almost. There we go. 550,000. And now we can go for Anschluss. Right, Anschluss is done. Grab all the divisions we get from Austria and convert them to the motorized. And now we should be able to go for Sudeten. And there we go, 750,000. Sudeten. More civilian factories. Okay, recount, working on our doctrines. More soft attack for artillery. Disperse 3 because we want more building slots. And going for a decryption, encryption for the attack bonus. As well as construction, construction helps everything. Training divisions, making sure that they supplied first, so we don't supply these ones that are half strength. When we get them to maximum strength, we deploy them, we drop them down, and we convert them into motorized. That way we can get to that 950,000 required to go for Danzig war. Most of these divisions don't have guns, but they have the manpower, which is what you need for the national focus requirement. This is the tank division we are going to go for. We're going to slap on a medium. And just for the amount of tanks that we've got at the minute, that will do. Goodbye, Czechoslovakia. By all means, think of a strategy that I won't do. Something that's really quirky and really cool. If you wanted to, you could go for Danzig for Slovakia if you wanted to. But one of the rules to complete this challenge is to annex Poland, France, and the Soviet Union. So allying with Poland is not going to do you any favors. Now I'm going to go for reassert Eastern claims. Disperse Industry 3 has just finished. Now we have building slots. So now we're going to build fuel silos pretty much everywhere. And we'll prioritize those ones right now. Gonna make sure we stack up on loads of medium tanks, and we'll pop that to the very bottom. Now we need desperately tungsten. Now, we understand that one day we are going to be pushing eastward, but for today, we're best buddies. Trading partners. Panzer IV, you say? Why not? Oh yeah, and don't forget about logistics. That's important. And also something important that I've forgotten about. You fool, Dave. Anti-air. Oh boy. That's very important. Don't make the mistake I just did. Put 2 military factories in anti-air, and that'll do you for the rest of the game. Don't do this. We don't need to build any more light tanks. We'll just convert to SPGs, and then we'll continue more on mediums. Let's make a little bit more offensive infantry division. Duplicate, guns, artillery, artillery. Take off a division, anti-air, reconnaissance. And one of the armies will become that division, but not quite yet, because we need to go for Danzig or war. We're close. There we go. We need 950,000 manpower in the field, which we have now, and then we can go for Danzig or war. Don't touch these division templates. Don't touch them, don't touch them, don't touch them, until you have finished the Danzig or war national focus. Now at that point, manpower in field does not matter. Right, we're going to deploy our tank divisions. Pop them right there, and we'll start exercising them as well. Danzig or war, you say? Yes. We'll also make sure they get prioritized for equipment. I get asked this a lot. What's the difference between reserve, default, and elite? The priority that equipment goes to that division. If there's 3 division templates, all requiring guns, elite get it first, then defaults, then reserves get it last. Right, the fuel cells are built now. Maximum fuel storage is 1.8 million. I think we can go a little bit higher than that. Let's build just a few more. We have to fill those silos full of fuel, so we are going to get loads of fuel, the maximum capacity for our convoys, and it will be filled in 77 days. Perfect. Let's work on basic guns now. We need to give our divisions a little bit more bite. Army offensive, armor genius, infantry expert, and army logistics. Poland has refused. Right, now we can start adjusting our templates to how we actually want them to look. Infantry, infantry, infantry. And this one template here can guard this area. S to split, half my army go here, and then we draw a front line, and the rest will go on this front line. That is perfect. And this guy is going to be our main artillery man. Now everyone has to exercise, because we have a lot of green divisions and they are terrible at fighting. So now we can have a little look at our logistics to see what we're behind on and what we're in front of. So we don't need nowhere near as much motorized. We've got a lot of artillery, probably a little bit too much. So in this case, maybe we could convert this other division now. We just need more AA now. So pop that there, pop that here. One more on you. The way you do this is you look at your logistics, you look what you need, then you hover over them. It takes you how long until you construct them and keep up to date. In this case, it's about 150 days for light SPGs and AA to catch up. And in that case, I'm totally happy with that. You hover over the war goal, we can see how long it lasts until July 1939. So we'll declare on the 8th. In the meantime, we'll train a bunch of divisions in the back. We'll train 48 divisions that are going to be our reserves. We don't need nowhere near as much guns now. And every extra factory goes on medium tanks. But now what we can do is phase out lights. There we go. More breakthrough, more armor. Perfect. We'll also do around the Maginot while we're waiting as well. Need more fuel right now, so we're going to fill the silos up by importing from the Soviet Union, which we don't need convoys for that. Hence why we go with the Soviets. Also, we need more fuel too. We'll get that from Romania. More from Venezuela. Use all my convoys. Yep. We're cutting this fine. 6th of July. Okay, we're about to go to war, so we have to stop oil importing. That is one of the rules, guys. Remember, that is one of the rules. We're not allowed to import oil when we are at war. We'll stick our main force here, and then we'll puncture through the center here with our tanks. 8th of July. The cutoff point is right now. Get our air force prepared. We have about 800 planes in reserve. We have about 200 close air support. About 400 tacticals. The Air Force is going to serve more of a defensive role. We are going to be intercepting enemy planes to stop them from bombing fuel silos. When fuel silos are hit by strategic bombers, a large number of our fuel reserves disappear instantly. So we do not want to get bombed. All right, let's declare. Also to be aware too, France and the UK are really sneaky by landing troops into Poland. So to prevent them from doing that, we're going to grab all the submarines. Split them off. I'll Donitz. Get the traits. Convoy raid here, here, and here. A few focuses that are off limits, cold liquefaction and synthetic rubber, as well as intricate war economies. We want to make this challenge as difficult as we can, and no opportunities to gain free fuel from Romania or synthetics. But we are going to go for German war economy for 6 free war factories. And pop our planes. All the bombers, close air support will be attached on to the tank divisions, and all the fighters are going to be on interception. Right, we desperately need AA right now. Desperately. And we'll attack with our infantry on the front line too. Go, go, go. The issue we've run into is we're getting bombed very heavily and very successfully. But the good news too is we're also intercepting British convoys, which is a few less divisions to engage in France. Fighters now. Unfortunately, we're going to have to take them off because we're not getting rubber imports. We need a bunch of divisions for suppression duty. And we'll just make a ton of those. Prince of Terror to reduce suppression. And we're also going to be harsh with the Polish. Right, delete all the front lines, redraw them with the field marshal because the front lines are connected now. Get out of Danzig. There we go. Close them down. With the current fuel usage, we have 1.1 years worth of fuel consumption left. Tense. Alright, Danzig's liberated. Now we need to push somewhere else. I think with our infantry divisions at the minute, I think we should be able to push the whole front, but we'll see. Just coming through, don't mind if I do. Nice pocket. The next artillery upgrade is just way too far ahead. Having to wait almost 2 years for one tech is just not worth it. But in that case, we'll start working on some support companies, so reconnaissance is a good one to go for. And work on our guns too. This is good experience for our generals here, so infantry expert for both of them. So this infantry army now will have some good bite to it, and then we can slice them down the middle. This war in Poland is going on just slightly longer than I would have liked, but we've got another 6 months margin here, so we can spend our time, take our sweet time. For the Panzer IV, I'm going to add lots of reliability to it. This means it'll take less attrition losses, for instance on the Eastern Front, so that's going to be worthwhile, just to preserve the numbers so I can hold on to them just a little bit longer. Poland, 98%. Just need to lose 1 city and they're going to fall. There we go. Rip. Alright, let's move our armies over. We've got you, artillery guy. Go here. You will sit in the back. And we also have this tank army, which is going to blitz through the center. So, theory time. If you want a more peaceful game, and you're not worried about getting a high score, you just want to beat the challenge, my advice to you is go for the Molotov-Ribbentrop non-aggression pact with the Soviets. That way you'll have less to deal with and you're more likely to succeed with the challenge. But if you're going for a quick time like I am, I would not recommend going for that because I want to be able to attack the Soviets whenever I see fit. And that's why we're going to go for the anti-Comintern pact right now. Meanwhile in the air, it's a bit of a back and forth trying to get the bombing done, but we need to make sure we put our fires just in the right place to prevent them from bombing us. Keep an eye on your repairs, make sure you keep on top of them. Fixing those silos and the civvies. Make sure you are repairing all of them. Also, when it comes down to political power, improved work conditions is worthwhile. We want to max out our war supports to do propaganda against the French. Alright, Netherlands. Let's go. And we should be able to wipe these out pretty quickly. My advice is do one at a time. Netherlands, then Belgium. There we go. Easy. Alright, next up we're going to put our tanks on the border here, and then a main infantry force here, and then double layer my other infantry troops behind them. Put them on the front line, build planning bonus, and then we're going to go from there. Keep an eye on tungsten, we're going to import that from Portugal. Might look like a risky area to do it, and quite frankly it is, but we don't mind losing a few convoys to get some tungsten. We're going to hold our navy, because at the moment we don't need to take care of this area in the Baltic, because we have full control of it now. Just to recap on research, going for more doctrine, reconnaissance, soft attack, and research for the encryptions. Right, don't forget to suppress the Netherlands too, make sure we preserve all those factories. And of course, we are going to be harsh with them as well, because we want every single factory. Every single one. War with the USSR. Right, this next bit's important because either you're going to grind against France for months on end, or you're going to get through them within a few days. So in this case, both armies, aggressive, plan is activated, and the tanks are going to go immediately. So here we go, boys. The Blitz. The first initial troops are going to bust through the north, come back down south and grab Paris, and the first ones are going to push here. It's important that you have different troops that go in different locations to try and push through different points, because some areas will be hard to beat through, and some areas will offer a lot of resistance. Just make sure you spread out just a tiny little bit. It looks pretty good to me. As long as we grab Paris, we'll be alright. It looks like we're going to grab it. 61%. 100%. Get out of here. Oh my goodness. All these divisions. The UK is going to try and escape now. I don't think so. Excess factories. Put most of them on medium tanks. That's where we're going to produce the most of. And the rest look pretty straightforward. Yep, everything else is good too. And then we're going to prepare for our push eastward, which is very, very soon. Don't establish Vichy France. The only way you want to go for Vichy France is if you want free ships. We're not going to take any ships in this game. So it is mostly pretty pointless. And don't forget to suppress all of it. And don't forget about Luxembourg. Ever. Be harsh with everyone. Get all those factories. Every single one. Get all that tungsten. We have a bunch of other divisions here in reserve that we can convert to our artillery divisions. The ones that have got the most soft attack. So we're focusing very heavily on soft attack because we don't have a lot of fuel. So therefore we need to make sure that we make use of every single piece of fuel. Every single drop. Keep an eye on how many garrisons you need. It says we need 98. So in that case, what we need to do is make this division bigger so it has more suppression capabilities. In this case, I just recommend going for the full 20 width. Move your troops to the east. Make sure you fix all the factories. All the divisions in the east. 5 full armies. All full of artillery. Pop them in the east and exercise. As you can see, we need a lot of artillery. Right, we're going to go for logistics because this saves more fuel. We'll also rush for logistics 3 as well. Within the time frame of this game, it's unlikely we'll have to deal with America and the UK. I would recommend to slow down Britain, wolf packs in the Atlantic. Cancel your existing orders, pop them in the Atlantic. Now they'll raid in the Atlantic and it'll just slow down the possibility of a D-Day happening. So more likely you'll delay it more like about a year, 18 months before it actually officially happens. That way you can keep defenses on this area relatively thin. Right, war with the USSR is ready. It is the wet season right now. Look at all this mud. Look at all this mud. So much mud. So right now attacking is a bad idea. You want to be attacking roughly around at the start of June. Kind of historically. I'll pop my army on the front line here. Push them to the front. More than likely we're going to have problems with supply. So I'll max Berlin out. And here. And then finally here. Just to prevent supply issues initially. Then we'll make the initial breakout that we're pushing to the Soviets very, very strong. And we will do a lot of damage. Did I tell you that AI likes to bomb you? Yes, they do. One piece of advice I would recommend is assign your aces. That's advice piece of 1. Next, I would also recommend going for heavy fighters too. If you're not playing offense aggressively, my advice is just to go for heavy fighters with the extra attack. That way they're more likely to score hits on bombers. It is something I have noticed. Got some troops in reserve here. They're going to hold the Atlantic Wall. And we also have a bunch of tanks that we are going to reinforce once they've had adequate training. It is time. Let us go, boys. Alright, initial push is southwards. We initially make one push into their front line. Oh my god, and we're actually breaking them. I never thought that would be the case. Oh my god, we're actually breaking them. Okay, maybe I want to keep going then. And we've just completely annihilated their front line. Actually, that took me completely off guard. And there goes Kiev. Okay. I kind of underestimate the power of those infantry divisions. They're pretty strong. Alright, we'll close this pocket here. There's at least 500,000 troops here. We're also going to work on improving our anti-air as well, seeing as we have no air force in this area of the map. Would like to, if possible, break through to there. That would also be nice. Every successful push you make, you need to keep an eye on your logistics, because there's a chance of this. I see what happened here. Lithuania got annexed, and that's why I've got a gap in that front line. Oops. Easy fix. Cancel the front line. Boom, boom. New one. Here we go. We can actually see now how many divisions are here. We have 5 divisions in the front, 50,000, and 31 in reserve, 200,000. So it's about 250,000. Okay, we're going to change the color of this guy because I'm really finding it difficult to spot him in the front line. I need to bring back our forces in the Atlantic, and I need you just for a temporary period combo right in the Baltic and around the Arctic here, just so we can catch any Soviet divisions. Logistics onto the artillery divisions. Right, these tanks seem to be lacking bite. I think the reason why is I just don't have enough battalions of mediums. I need to work away from mediums and get a few more mediums and less motorized. Something ideally like that, or maybe even like that. We're going to need a lot more medium tanks to do that. So when you don't have air, what happens is you have to work down their close air support by shooting them down with ground-based AA. It limits your offensive capabilities for a short period. But eventually, when you work down their numbers, you should be able to counterattack. Relatively straightforward. And there we go. We've split them in East Prussia. This should limit their offensive capabilities for a little while. Only problem now is we're heading towards October, and it's about to get very, very cold. Fighting in Danzig again. Part 2. Right, the plan now is to go back exactly where we once were. And do it again. How's fuel looking? We have 1.1 million barrels. We're having a really hard time with support equipment, so we need to attach more on there. Our main tank army is in position. Let's go. They look a lot softer than they once were. Those big fat encirclements has not done them any favors. And now we've got an initial breakthrough. I'm going to be very aggressive and push across the top. And also break through with the infantry as well. The first port of call is Kiev. It has 14 oil. Not massive, but it'll keep us up and keep the offensive going for just a few more months. And there we go. And then we can build infrastructure there and get the most of the fuel. Right, we've captured Crimea. Front line's getting a bit long. Shorten it. Boom. Go. Once we've got the momentum, I'm not going to slow down. Make a front line there and just keep you guys locked in. And safe. Alright, we've captured Crimea. We've got a massive push in the south. The counter just said that we dipped below 100 days worth of fuel, but it's just popped up again. Probably due to the fact that we're getting fuel from Crimea. If I could give you one piece of advice at this point, is I'm really struggling with the Air Force. The Air Force is causing me a lot of problems, so my advice is put tech into anti-air earlier than I did. And here we see the snow has arrived. Now we might be able to push and secure the oil fields before winter hits that region. Now that would be great. Let's do that. Let's get into position. If you wonder why they move so quickly, I'm doing Control B on the keyboard. It's like the toggle key for railroading, which is this button. Control B, walking, railroading. Control B, railroading, walking. There you go. That explains why they get to the front line so quickly for my troops. The staff office plan gives me planning bonus like 400% quicker. And I can get lots of planning bonus. 46% extra attack damage. Don't mind if I do. Oh, it's beautiful. So beautiful. You know, let's capture Stalingrad. Is there anyone there? No, failed. Okay. Our fuel problems are about to be fixed for winter. We're going to have a lovely supply of fuel for the winter time. And there we go. Winter problems have been fixed. Also, one piece of advice too, whenever you make a push with your tank army, make it with the infantry army first, just to soften the front line, then push through with the tanks. I seem to have noticed that seems to be more effective. And there we go. Winter problems have been fixed. All this delicious fuel. Alright, when this reaches the point now that we've gone from red in the fuel to now green. But before we had a year's worth of fuel, as low as 100 days. Now in 2.2 years, our fuel supplies will be maxed. And there you go. Fuel problems are now over. And to celebrate, medium tanks for everyone. The winter is actually not that bad. It's kind of, I find that the mud afterwards is worse. So I always like to have a little push in winter as well. Let's see if there's any way we can fray up some support equipment. Get rid of the engineers off basic infantry. And that's pretty much it. That's freed up about 33 support equipment. Push in the south in winter. Don't mind if I do. Oh my goodness, this is really effective. I think it's because of the plains. The snow. Oh, funnily enough, it's got the snow texture here. But I hover over it, there's actually not snow here. If I go north, I hover over it. It says local province effects. Minus 25% speed, minus 5 organization regain, and minus 30% attack. It's minus 30% attack for snow, but it's something like minus 40 or 50% for mud. So mud is just way worse than snow. What I would like to do is redraw the front lines again. This just prevents some of the front lines narrower for some armies other than others. So we get everyone in position, and then we railroad them Control B again. We did what the Germans could never do. Stalingrad has fallen. Also, if you're really desperate for fuel, you can go for excavation, which also gives you more fuel on top of the extra fuel that you've got. But if you've taken Baku, you've got more fuel than you'll ever need anyway. You'll reach a point where the winter and the mud won't even matter because you've pulverized the Soviets so much they just can't recover anyway. Let's push the entire front line. Go. Oh, those green bubbles. So many of them. Once again, not the best time to push in the muddy season, but I think we've already pulverized them anyway. Did you ask about the casualties? Here we go. 3.9 million. Which is actually not that high compared to the average Eastern Front. Massive gaping hole in the center. Shorter front line. Get everyone to the front. Staff office plan. Go, 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 go. Outside the gates of Moscow, and we can't break through. We need to sit for a second for a breather. Ooh, so much red. Alright. Enemy at the gates. Probably the lost opportunity we're going to get. Let's close Moscow, Leningrad. Also, last thing we're going to do is take off logistics on the artillery. And immediately causes supply problems. Oh well. Go! The final push. The final countdown. The fall of Moscow. That way, that way, that way, that way. Just charge directly to the center. Kiev, Minsk, Leningrad, Moscow, Stalingrad, Sevastopol. If you've taken out all these key cities, the Soviets are beaten, and at that point you've captured like 85% of the victory point, so it's just a matter of grabbing a bit of excess land at that point, and then it's officially over. There we go, Leningrad's over. All major cities are taken. 81% capitulation. There's a bunch of key cities in the center here too, so I'm just gonna gobble all those ones up. Final push for a bunch of key cities in the east. 96%, 97. Done. Over. Pause the game. The 5th of November. Remember, the 5th of November, 1941. I don't think there's a reason why the 5th of November, 1941 should ever be forgot. This is the time that you need to beat. That's right, you! Right now, watching your phone, your tablet, or your computer, or your television. You need to beat that time. 5th of November, 1941. Eliminate France, Poland, and the Soviet Union with the rule set, which is in the description below, that I also talked about at the start of the video, which I don't know why you've cut to this point when you should have watched the start of the video. Shame on you. Shame. If you want to celebrate with me that I've hit 100,000 subscribers, why not join the Feedbacker party? Hit that like button, hit that sub button, and don't forget, if you don't hit the bell, then your subscription means absolutely nothing. I love you. Now, your goal, your objective, is to go out to all the YouTubers that you know and tell them about this challenge and see what date that they get. I want you to message them in the comment section. I want you to say, when are you doing the Feedback Gaming No Oil Challenge? ask them in the comments, when are you doing the Feedback Gaming No Oil Challenge? The rules for this challenge are in the comments below, and that is it. I hope you have an absolutely awesome day, and I'll see you guys next time.